Hello and welcome to Prudent IAS, one-stop solution for all the competitive exams. Today our video is going to be very interesting because I'll be telling you how to analyze and understand any news from UPSC's perspective. So the ongoing news, of course, is India-Pakistan conflict, its latest developments. Today, we'll be analyzing this news from an aspirant's perspective. Everywhere you are reading the news, memes filled with emotions, nationalism and patriotism, but you are expected to show some restraint while answering these questions in UPSC. So we'll see under which paper this topic falls, how you need to segregate and analyze the topic. The approach will be the same. After the discussion over the topic, we'll phrase a sample model question and a sample model answer where I'll be highlighting the do's and don'ts of answer writing. Most of you must be aware which question we are going to tackle today, but all those who have not yet joined our group, Answer Writing by Prudent IAS on Telegram, do join it today. Without wasting time, let's begin with this video. So the ongoing India-Pakistan conflict has escalated dramatically. Tensions between both the nuclear-armed neighbors have reached up to dangerous levels. Military action, diplomatic breakdowns, and international concerns are shaping this unfolding crisis. A comprehensive understanding will require examining what is the origin, what are the key developments, what is the current status, as well as the global implications of this topic. So first, we'll analyze the news. On 22nd April 2025, there was a deadly terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. So the location, the map work, important point is Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. Just locate all these locations on the map. It resulted in the deaths of 26 innocent individuals who were predominantly Hindu tourists. So the role of religion comes into play. India attributed the attack to the TRF, the Resistance Front, which is a Pakistan-based militant group. So our neighbor Pakistan is again supporting cross-border terrorism. In response, India launched Operation Sindoor on 7th May 2025, conducting missile strikes on 9 locations in Pakistan. Again, you will have to locate all these locations on the map. And Pakistan and Pak administered Kashmir, that is POK, where India targeted all the terrorist infrastructure. No civilian or military infrastructure was targeted, only the terrorist infrastructure which was linked to groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. So this is the basic news. Now we'll be looking at the key developments. As already mentioned, Operation Sindoor, where we dismantled the terrorist infrastructure. Next, what we did before Operation Sindoor, we suspended the Indus Water Treaty. Again, this 1960 Indus Water Treaty is important for exam perspective. So, we cited security concerns and alleged that Pakistan is supporting the state-sponsored terrorism. This was our reason for suspending this decade-long treaty. Again, diplomatic strains. Both the nations have expelled the diplomats. They have imposed travel restrictions. Pakistanis have been deported. Pakistan, as always, has pleaded to the UN Security Council, but India is engaging with the international allies and justifying its actions that it was not an act of war, but a response. So, security, IR, diplomacy, terrorism, a lot more topics. We'll see how you are going to segregate all these topics under the papers. Next, the civil defense drill, that is Operation Abhyas. On 7th May 2025, India conducted a nationwide civil defense exercise across 244 districts to bolster the preparedness against the potential escalation, showing that we are ready for everything. It's important how this crisis is unfolding globally. What are the global responses? Has called for utmost military restraint. That's important because it has not taken any sides. US monitoring situation, urging diplomatic resolution. See, United Nations has always worked for peace. But here we can see that all the diplomatic ties, diplomatic implications, all the cross-border conflict resolution programs have failed. US is monitoring the situation. It is not taking sides. China and Russia have also expressed concern over the potential for conflict and urged restraint. Now, this is what the statements are coming out in the news, but how you will analyze is that China is taking sides of Pakistan. Russia is with India. So we are also analyzing this from an ally perspective, that who is ally of who's in international relations. This is also affecting the regional stability. The whole world is worried about it because both are nuclear armed states. So there are concerns over escalation which will impact the South Asian security. What are the strategic implications? Nuclear risk, the most important one, because we both possess nuclear arsenals, and it raises the concerns about potential for escalation into a nuclear conflict which will be disastrous for both the nations as well as the whole world. Regional stability, as already discussed, there is crisis to destabilize the South Asian region. The failure of the diplomatic channel, because of the constant military actions, the diplomatic channel has been underscored. Engagements and conflict resolution mechanisms seems to fail. How it is relevant to the UPSC syllabus? This is what is most important for an aspirant. Let's look at General Studies Paper 2. So you can read this current affair under General Studies Paper 2, Governance, Constitution, Polity, Social Justice and IR. For this, what is important? First, that you must know the syllabus to the T. Whenever you are looking at the news, immediately you are able to analyze that, okay, this is going to fall under paper 2, paper 3. I can write question might come under any of these. Also, under governance, how will it fall under governance? Analysis of India's response to cross-border terrorism, which is the main topic. Its implications for the national security policy, how our policy has been changing, evolving. Under Constitution, the examination of India's constitutional provisions related to national security and international relations. The study of the political dynamics influencing India's policy decisions. Very simple. Social justice, impact of the conflict on civilian populations and the role of the state in protecting the citizens. So here you will be developing a critical perspective. Also, you will be jotting down all the data. What are the casualties reported? How is the government reacting? How is the state protecting its citizens? In IR, under IR, understanding the bilateral relations between India and Pakistan. The role of international organizations in conflict resolution, that is UN, which is failing. Next up, under General Studies Paper 3, this will fall under Security and Disaster Management. Assessment of the security challenges that are posed by cross-border terrorism and military escalation. Under Disaster Management, insights into India's preparedness for potential conflict-related emergencies. For example, Operation Abhyas. This is being carried out to tackle the disasters. I hope this is clear to you all. Now, the most important part is model question. From this topic, from this ongoing issue, there are high chances that one question might come in the exams. So we have just framed a sample question, that is the recent escalation in India-Pakistan tensions, including India's Operation Sindoor and the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, reflects a shift in India's counter-terrorism and foreign policy strategy. Definitely there has been a shift, right? How? We will be writing it down. Critically analyze the implications of this shift for the regional stability and IR. That is a 15 mark 250 word question. So just break down this question. First we'll understand this statement, that is the news part. Now critically analyze the implications of this shift. So first, which shift we are talking about? We'll have to specifically mention that how we have shifted our policies and strategies. Then what are its implications for regional stability and what are the implications for international relations? So we'll address each part under a separate heading because this is a long answer, 15 mark question, and we have ample word limit. What I expect you to do now is just pause this video, write a sample answer and send that answer in our group Answer Writing by Prudent IAS on Telegram, where you will be accessing others' answers as well. You can do peer-to-peer interaction and we evaluate one answer daily at no cost. Let's begin with the model answer. As always mentioned, follow intro, body, conclusion approach. You won't write these structural headings. These are just for your understanding. Skip introduction heading and just start from here. India-Pakistan tensions stem from cross-border terrorism. Now just note 2-3 key points here. First, the terminology. We are going to use subject-specific terminology like cross-border terrorism. After a terror assault in Jammu and Kashmir, India launched Operation Sindoor. Then next point to be noted is we are mentioning all the facts against Pakistani and POK terror camps and suspended the Indus Water Treaty. India has moved from strategic caution to proactive counter-terrorism. So very simple introduction, which is first given insights about the news in the question. We have mentioned the terms and facts. Then we have addressed the demand by mentioning that India has now moved from strategic caution to proactive counter-terrorism. We'll be justifying this in the body of the answer. Let's quickly move to the body. Under the body of answer, skip the structural heading. This is just for your understanding. What you will do, you will break the question under headings and subheadings. First heading is shift in the India's strategy. This heading needs to be, as I always mention, self-explanatory. Use either capital letters or underline it, make a box over it. Just make sure to highlight this heading. I repeat these points for all the new students, otherwise in all the lectures I have already focused the importance of a good structure in the answers. This is the heading. Then we'll start by using alphanumeric digits, that is 1, 2, 3 or ABC. Avoid using bullets, that is dots. Use subheadings like military assertiveness, diplomatic hardening and civil preparedness. Again, the use of subject specific terminology is very important. See, if you have chosen English as your medium voluntarily, then you are expected to have a good hold on language, because language proficiency is very important and holds marks in the answers. So you will give the very crisp, concise headings. Under it you will be writing Operation Sindoor marks India's move towards offensive defense. Again, the use of choice of words is very important. Offensive defense. Following the surgical strikes in 2016, 2019, the Balakot air strikes, targets are focused on Pakistan terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. So again, underline all the keywords. This is a typed answer. When you are handwriting this answer, you are expected to underline the words, like underline Operation Sindoor, underline the word offensive defense, surgical strike, Balakot, and Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. So without even looking at the complete answer, the examiner will understand that, okay, you have mentioned all the key points. Next up, we have the diplomatic hardening. See, we have already discussed in brief all these points, but how you are rephrasing and precisely describing these words is what is important. Suspension of the 1960 Indus Water Treaty, use of examples, current is very important, current affairs, signals the willingness to leverage the economic tool. India's active diplomacy with the US and France, that is showing our hold with international allies, that is US and France. It is demonstrating the strategic realignment. Operation Abhyas under civil preparedness. shows readiness for potential retaliation. So we have clearly shown that, okay, now we are not just sitting and folding hands, but moving towards offensive defense. We are preparing strategically, and this is a well planned strategic being carried out, because we are even preparing the civilians, which is good governance, diplomatic hardening. Though the diplomacy measures like conflict resolution mechanisms are failing, yet we are relying on the international allies. We are focusing on the strategic realignment, taking them in our court. So we'll address the next dimension under a separate heading. After mentioning the shift, we'll write the implications for regional stability, and likewise we'll focus on international implications. Again, you will use a heading, underline it, highlight it. Now you can even use flowchart structure, you can use any structure, timeline. Make sure the structure is neat, your handwriting is extremely legible. Avoid cutting, avoid short forms. If you are using this subheading heading format, just make sure you do not breach the word limit. Keep it in check. For implications of regional stability, there is a risk of escalation, as already discussed, because both are nuclear armed nations and they are engaging militarily, which is heightening the conflict potential. Increased border skirmishes and civilian displacement is also likely, which are the potential side effects of any war. Weakened bilateral relations, yes. Suspended treaties, which reduce the dialogue opportunities. SAARC's effectiveness is also diminished, because both are the members of SAARC. Regional impact, Afghanistan and Iran closely monitor the developments because they are the immediate neighbors of India and Pakistan. Key projects like Chabahar Port will face some uncertainty. So these are the regional stability implications. Again, you have used ample content, ample facts like the Chabahar Port, organizations, and very concise and crisp subheadings. For international implications, the global response is already discussed. The UN is urging for restraint, as it always does, for maintaining peace and harmony. But most of the nations are supporting India's self-defense claims. So there are some questions about counter-terror framework effectiveness also, because all this is because of the terrorist attack that happened in Pahalgam. India's standing. Domestic support for assertiveness must balance with diplomatic engagement. So we are working on all the crucial levels. We are engaging diplomatics as well. Civilian casualties or norm violations also could undermine India's responsible power image. So whenever there is a war, there is a conflict, civilian damage is going to happen. That is bound to happen, but this damages the effectiveness of the government. So this is how a UPSC aspirant or as a student, you are going to look at these issues. I know everyone is instilled with patriotism and nationalism, but while writing the answers, develop a balanced approach. Do not take sides. And then sum up your answer in the conclusion very carefully. The India-Pakistan crisis changed India's security and foreign policy. India's robust counter-terrorism strategy is strategic. So first you are going to praise what India is doing, how the shift in the strategy is very good, but permanent peace demands balanced engagement, regional cooperation and dialogue. So as an administrator, as an officer, what you are expected, you are not going to support war, but peace, which will ultimately require dialogue, regional cooperation and balanced engagement. So this is how you are going to analyze this whole issue and write a answer. That's it for today. I hope this has brought in some clarity and how you are going to read all the upcoming news. Till then, just subscribe our channel Prudent IAS on YouTube and join our group Answer Writing by Prudent IAS on Telegram. Thanks for watching.